Ika-32 nga sesyon ng Sangguniang Panlunsod, Siyudad ditun Borongan. Abril 1, 2020.
Sumupay nga agahay yung tanan. Our 32nd regular session is now called to order. The Honorable SK Federated President, Lani Anakta, kindly lead the prayer. Let us all stand, followed by our national anthem.
Let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord in the name of the Father, of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of good health and peace that we enjoyed for so many years. As we find ourselves in this time of crisis today, we ask for your divine intervention and mercy to be upon each of us. We also pray for the healthcare workers that are standing in front line of this battle. Father, we thank you for their hearts of service, putting the needs of society before their own, generously responding to the cry of your people. We ask that you will grant them strength and protection as they give of themselves in selfless service. May you fill them with your Holy Spirit as they work to be your healing hands and feet. Father, we also surrender to you all those who have been afflicted with the virus. Grant them your healing grace, merciful Father, so that they may recover swiftly and continue to be witnesses of your love in their lives. Cover each of us with your blue mantle of protection, so that we may be preserved in good health and to continue to glorify your Son, Jesus Christ. We make this prayer through Christ, our Savior and Redeemer. Amen. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
The Honorable Scotto, kindly lead the Sangguniang Panlunsod members' creed.
The Councilor's Creed. I am a Philippine Councilor,
I am a Philippine Councilor,
mandated by law to enact measures and ordinances
mandated by law to enact measures and ordinances
that redound to the general welfare of my constituents
that redound to the general welfare of my constituents,
in their pursuit for happiness, peace, and prosperity.
in their pursuit for happiness, peace, and prosperity.
I believe in public service above self
I believe in public service above self
as the guiding principle of my official acts,
as a guiding principle of my official acts,
and as I tread the pathways of local legislation,
and as I tread the pathways of local legislation.
may the Almighty guide my mind and heart,
May the Almighty guide my mind and heart,
that I shall be true to my constituents and the Filipino people.
that I shall be true to my constituents and the Filipino people.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so also tested by our Sangguniang Panlunsod Secretary that there are 11 members present. The Chair hereby confirms that we have a quorum. So next item, Mr. Secretary.
Let us move on now to the approval of the order of business.
The Madam Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I would like to propose amendments to our order of business. Under our Appropriation Ordinance Number 1, approving the 2020 budget, we have stated under Section 6 that infrastructure projects of the LGU are approved. However, in the exercise of the oversight function of the Sanggunian, the bidding process may only be initiated when a resolution from the Sanggunian is passed and approved to the effect that all necessary planning documents have been submitted to and approved by the August body. The City Engineering Office has submitted several program of work Therefore, I move that we include under new business the following infrastructure projects that had been submitted by the engineering office with a program of work. One is the 25 poles perimeter lighting of Cabalagnan dump site, amounting to 8 million pesos, to be constructed for 32 days. Another is the drainage system in Barangay E, amounting to 2 million. Another one is the construction of a 2-barrel box culvert in Barangay San Mateo, amounting to 4 million pesos. Construction or rehabilitation of drainage system in Barangay H, amounting to 2 million pesos. Construction or rehabilitation of drainage system in Barangay Lalawigan, amounting to 2 million pesos. Reblocking of circumferential road at Baybay 5, Barangay Songko, amounting to 2 million pesos. And road concreting from Barangay Kalingatngan to Barangay San Mateo, amounting to 6 million pesos.
Okay, so any second? Any objections? None. So the motion of the Honorable Madam Floor Leader is approved. Any other amendments? The Honorable Arago.
Chair, I would like to manifest also to add items on other matters to pull the city treasurer and the accountant to brief us on how will the fund for the senior citizen grant will be distributed and who are the people to handle this.
Okay. Any second? Any objections? None. So the motion of Honorable Arago is approved.
Honorable
The
Presiding
Honorable
Officer.
Floor Leader.
I would also like to propose an amendment wherein we forgo the discussion of status reports, given that we have not had any meetings during the time that we are under our enhanced community quarantine, so that also we can lessen or reduce our time in session and be inside our homes already.
Okay, any objections? None. So the motion of the Honorable Floor Leader is approved. Any more revisions? None. Madam Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move that we approve our order of business as amended.
Any second? Any objections? Further discussions? There being none, our order of business for today is hereby approved. So next item, Mr. Secretary.
May I inform the August budget, we have available minutes, the fact that my office is still in the process of transcribing and encoding the same. So let us move on now to the committee report. Committee on Laws and Rules, review of Barangay Ordinance Number 3 of Barangay Punta Maria, establishing the Dumrog, Yungod, and Kasudkan as sanctuary and development of appropriate management plan thereof.
So the committee chair on laws and rules, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. The joint committee meeting conducted a committee meeting on March 12, 2020 at Sangguniang Panlunsod Session Hall, which started about 1 p.m. to tackle about the said ordinance. Pursuant to paragraph A, subsection I of Article 99, Rule 17 of Rules and Regulations implementing RA 7160, or also known as Local Government Code of 1991, the Committee on Laws and Rules, together with Committee on Tourism, conducted the review and evaluation of the above titled ordinance. During initial review and evaluation, the committee found that before establishing a fish sanctuary in a barangay, the area must first be assessed. On March 27, 2020, I submitted a letter to Mr. Macario Gabornes Jr., Department Head of our City Agriculture Office, requesting for his comments and suggestions regarding the proposed ordinance. The following are the observations. In Section 4, the description of the proposed sanctuary is incomplete, hence ambiguous as far as A, the aggregate physical area that will be covered by the proposed sanctuary, B, the identification and designation of component zones, for example, the core buffer, rehabilitation, and open access, must be done scientifically under the guidance of DA, PFAR, and the City LGU through the City Agriculture Office in collaboration with the barangay. In Section 5 and 6, the Barangay Fisheries and Aquatic Management Council or BFARMC, the Bantay Dagat Task Force, and the Coastal Resource Management Council Board must first be organized, capacitated, and deputized before the same can be proceed with planning, implementation, and management of the proposed sanctuary. Hence, the Office of the City Agriculture, in coordination with DA and BFAR, can readily provide assistance to the barangays on these matters. Recommendation: after thorough review and evaluation of the subject ordinance, the committee hereby recommends to remand back the ordinance to the barangay and wait for the assessment before establishing fish sanctuary. And further improvement of the ordinance of Barangay Punta Maria must be made prior to its approval. I therefore submit my committee report to the August body.
Okay, so what is the pleasure of the body? The recommendation of the committee? Any discussions? Suggestions? None? So, the Honorable Daza?
I therefore move to remand back the barangay ordinance the ordinance establishing the Dumrog, Yungod, and Kasudkan as sanctuary and development of appropriate management plan of Barangay Punta Maria be remanded back to the barangay.
Any
I
second?
second the motion.
Any objections? Further discussions? None? So, the motion of Honorable Daza is hereby approved. I would like to
Manifestation, Mr.
Go ahead, Honorable
President,
Sugat.
sir. I would like to manifest my presence for this regular session.
Okay. Noted. Please take note, Mr. Secretary. So, next item, Mr. Secretary.
Okay, now move on to the new business. Under proposed ordinance, we have proposed ordinance institutionalizing the grant of emergency financial assistance to tricycle drivers in the city of Borongan during public emergencies.
The Madam Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, in the exercise of the Sangguniang's power to implement what is for the general welfare of the community, I move that we pass this ordinance institutionalizing the grant of emergency financial assistance to our tricycle drivers in the city of Borongan. Given that there are calamities, incidents, or disasters that disrupt the normal operations of the city, resulting to the loss of opportunity to earn. But this is not only during this time wherein we have this COVID-19 pandemic, but also in the future wherein we will have other public health or public emergencies. I therefore move that we refer this matter to the Joint Committee on Transportation, chaired by Honorable Arago, and the Committee on Finance, chaired by yours truly, for further meetings and discussions on the matter.
Any second?
Mr. Presiding Officer.
Yes, go ahead, Honorable Suyat.
In support of that manifestation, I would like to recommend that we likewise revisit the EIP so that the same will be included. The EIP will be amended so that there will be legal basis for the funding for the support for the tricycle drivers.
Okay, so the two committees, please take note of the suggestion of Honorable Suyat that we review the AIP if there are some changes. Review and amend.
May I just manifest that
Yes, go ahead, Honorable Kainday.
this is the proposed ordinance is not only for implementation this year during COVID-19, but also in other public health emergencies. And the suggestion of Honorable Suyat is well noted, and we will make sure to put guidelines, specific
Yes,
guidelines on the matter of funding the financial assistance to our tricycle drivers.
Yes, okay. So any objections? None? So we refer this to the Committee on Transportation and Committee on Finance. Next item, Mr. Secretary.
Okay, next is the proposed ordinance introduced by Honorable Kathleen Jean B. Kainday, institutionalizing the grant of tax incentives, amnesty to business establishments in the city during public emergencies.
The Honorable Floor Leader.
Honorable Chair, the Honorable Presiding Officer, it is also obvious now these days that there are calamities or incidents or disasters that disrupt the normal operations of the city, therefore resulting to a loss of opportunity to earn, not only to our tricycle drivers and many other sectors, but especially also to our businessmen. Therefore, I would like to propose this ordinance in order for this August body to consider whether a tax incentive or amnesty is available or is proper to be implemented in the city during public emergencies. I therefore move that we refer this matter to the Committee on Finance and Committee on Health, since this arose due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Jointly, the Committee on Health chaired by Honorable Sadak.
Any second? Any objections? Further discussions? None. So we refer this to the appropriate committees. Next item, Mr. Secretary.
Proposed ordinance institutionalizing public safety protocols in times of public health emergencies is sponsored by Honorable Dr. Ana Katrina.
The Honorable Floor Leader.
Honorable Chair, Honorable Presiding Officer, I would like to move that we refer this matter, an ordinance institutionalizing public safety protocols in times of public health emergencies, to the Committee on Health, chaired by Honorable Anakta Sadak, for further discussions on the matter, as it is also timely since it is possible and that we will be lifting our enhanced community quarantine.
Any second? Any objections? None. So we refer this to the Committee on Health. So next item, Mr. Secretary.
Next are programs of work infra project, perimeter lighting of Kabalagnan, dam site, 8 million.
The Honorable Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, this is again in the exercise of our oversight function. I therefore move that
Bulto na lang.
I therefore move that we refer the matter to conduct meetings and review the program of work submitted for the 25-pole perimeter lighting in Kabalagnan Dam site amounting to 800,000 pesos, the drainage system in Barangay E amounting to 2 million pesos, the construction of a 2-barrel box culvert in Barangay San Mateo amounting to 4 million pesos, the construction or rehabilitation of a drainage system in Barangay H amounting to 2 million pesos, the construction or rehabilitation of drainage system in Barangay Lalawigan amounting to 2 million pesos, reblocking of circumferential road at Baybay 5 Barangay Songko amounting to 2 million pesos, and road concreting from Barangay Kalingatngan to San Mateo amounting to 6 million pesos, to the Joint Committee on Transportation chaired by Honorable Arago and Committee on Finance, the Committee on Transportation taking the lead.
Any second?
About the Committee on Infrastructure.
Yes, and the Committee on Infrastructure.
Okay, so 3 committees.
Okay. As corrected by Honorable Iscoto, it's not the Committee on Transportation, but the Committee on Infrastructure, which is also chaired by Honorable Arago.
Any second? Yes. Any objections? Honorable Escoto? Okay, so please take
Honorable
note.
Presiding Officer, it has already been sent to our email, so we can ask our staff to print it out since the city engineering has requested to send only minimal hard copies since this is a bulky document.
Yes, okay, take note. So any objections? None. So we refer this to the Committee on Infrastructure and Finance. Next item, Mr. Secretary.
For second reading is an ordinance institutionalizing the grant of emergency financial assistance to the frontline workers of the city government of Borongan during public emergencies.
The Honorable Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, this is again in the exercise of the General Welfare Clause, the power of the Sangguniang to propose ordinances which would benefit the community as a whole.
Can you read the ordinance, please?
Short title, this ordinance shall be known as the Borongan City Frontline Workers Financial Assistance Ordinance. Section 2, definition of terms. The following terms shall be defined in this ordinance as follows. Frontline workers shall refer to the people who work on the front lines, such as but not limited to the medical workers, health workers, police personnel, military personnel, barangay officials, or volunteers involved in the service during any public emergency. Financial assistance shall refer to an amount of money that the city government shall provide to the frontline workers during public emergency. And public emergency shall refer to any calamity, incidents, or disaster that disrupt the normal operations of the city or the city government. The scope or coverage, the grant of financial assistance to the frontliner shall be effected through a resolution or declaration of the Sangguniang Panlunsod with a certification of availability of funds by the city accountant. However, the frontline workers entitled to such financial assistance shall be determined by the local chief executive of the city of Borongan and subject to approval by the Sangguniang Panlunsod.
Okay, so before we proceed, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our City Mayor, Honorable Dayan Agda. Thank you for your presence. Continue, Honorable Kainday.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I submit to the body this proposed ordinance for second reading for discussion.
So what is the pleasure of the body? Any suggestions, comments, revisions? None? So the Honorable Kainday.
Honorable Presiding Officer, this ordinance seems sufficient, but it is too general. I suggest that this August body further conduct committee meetings or include in this ordinance specific guidelines as to who the frontline workers that will be affected or that will benefit from this financial assistance, taking into consideration that this does not only concern the COVID-19 pandemic, but also future public emergencies.
Any second to the motion? Any objections? None. So we refer this back to the committee. Siya na. Next item, Mr. Secretary.
Okay, now move on to other matters. Call the City Social Welfare and Development Officer and City Budget Officer regarding one-time grant of financial assistance to senior citizens of Borongan City.
Honorable Suyo.
Thank you very much. May I likewise include in our agenda for authorization the inclusion of the possibility of crafting an ordinance institutionalizing the support mechanism for our farmers and fisher folks, because these are the last wall of defense for the city of Borongan, because we have to assure that in times of calamity we have enough food supply for the whole constituent of the city of Borongan. I so move, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Second. Any objections?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
the proposal of Kagawad Suyo, I suggest that should be just included in the institutionalizing ordinance for public safety protocols. And because it involves money matters.
Yes,
Kagawad Suyo,
Yes.
it will involve grant also. It will involve grant and perhaps the same grants that should be given to tricycle drivers.
yes, that is why it should be holistic, because we do not want to
Specify.
at makakaligtaan ito iba nga sektor nga importante nga ating na problema.
Sa Honorable Kainday.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I agree with Honorable Suyot. However, my suggestion is we include this matter in the ordinance proposing financial assistance to tricycle drivers. Instead of specifically saying that it is for tricycle drivers, let us include marginalized workers who is under the condition, who is working under a no work, no pay condition.
Okay, so is the Honorable
I yield
Suyo
to the
amenable?
suggestion of the floor leader.
Okay, so
Mr. Chair,
Yes, go
that
ahead.
does not include only the sectors that were mentioned. Maybe there will be some more sectors that will crop up. All the
Yes,
sectors.
So the proposed
Honorable
ordinance,
Kainday. Yes, go ahead.
the proposed ordinance will cover marginalized sectors, which could not only be farmers and fisher folks and tricycle drivers, but it is also subject to the availability of funds as certified by our city accountant and is approved by our city mayor also, recommended by our city mayor.
That is noted. And the chair has full support in the confidence committee. They will study. Okay, so next item. Hi, nakita, Mr.
Other
Secretary.
matters.
Madam Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, our city mayor and our health officers are present during the session to report regarding the COVID-19 status here in our city. I therefore move that we temporarily suspend our internal rules of procedures so that we can ask our city mayor and our health officers to report in session as to the status or any other updates.
Any second? Any objections? None. Our internal rules is hereby temporarily suspended.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I will leave Dr. Sakmar and Dr. Trish first report because after this they have a press briefing at the City Emergency Operations Center just across the building, so that the August body will be appraised of our situation. So feel free to ask them any question, no matter how difficult it may be. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Dr. Please.
Good morning.
Okay, so the Committee Chair on Health. You have. Okay. Okay, so kindly state your name for the record, please.
I am Dr. Sakmar, City Health Officer. I'd like to
Guy. See, go ahead.
we started pag kamay di checkpoint Barangay Bugas and Luksoon last March 13, and since March 13 for Bugas checkpoint, we had a total of 624 PUMs and 2 PUIs. Pero as of yesterday, March 31, ang amon nala total number of PUMs, 40 nala. Kay kada kon may manang graduate, 40.
Wow.
And number of PUI, usa nala. Tapos PUI completed 14-day quarantine, 584. Na-issuehan natin certificate nga na kompleto na hiran nila 14-day quarantine. Bali 14 na light amon gin. Pero sige net kada law may dalagan.
Honorable Presiding Officer and the members of the Council, good morning.
Yeah,
From the Borongan 2, Rural Health Unit 2, we cover the Lung Barangays, from Canabong to Camada and the Panlunsod areas. As of today, we have 165 total PUMs, and there are 163 already graduated from their 14-day quarantine, and we have only 2 remaining PUMs, and we do not have PUIs.
Wow, that's very good news.
For them, we continue to be present at the checkpoints, and we are very strict in securing their data so that we can always safeguard the people inside our city. And so far, okay naman. Thank you.
Wow, that's very good. The Honorable Anak Tasada.
Good morning. Considering now that may that positive Calbayog and then Katarman, do we consider travelers from those places PUN?
No, ma'am, kay waray man an didahan criteria DOH. Pag waray
local transmission di dahiton nga positive ang may da nag-positive like Katarman and Calbayog. May da positive pero waray local transmission. So iton masulod din atan considered lahira as PASQ or person advised self-quarantine. Pero minomonitor lang gyapit hira.
Oh, okay. That's perfect.
Waray man local transmission.
See, go ahead, Honorable Suyot.
As Mr. Presiding Officer, I would like to take this opportunity first to thank our frontliners for doing exceptionally well in trying to prevent the entry of this virus to the city of Borongan. The question is, do we have the necessary gears for our frontliners as of today? Or do we have enough resources so that, because I asked that question because I wanted to see the clear picture so that we can provide the necessary legislative intervention in support of the aggressive measures being implemented by the city of Borongan.
Hindi aman sir, may da pa. Pero asya kay kada adlaw man damit nga gamit kay tinatagan man daman naman an army, an PNP, BJMP nga nabulig.
Mask pa din?
Opo. Glove si mas. Oray gown, glove ngan kung pwede magkuan, may da man iginhataghan LGU nga face shield. May da lugod. Opo.
PPEs.
May da na dito nga gowns and bali kung magagamit hingin may da na nandida admission people center.
Okay. Kasi i-recommend ko sana kung kulang kita itong PPE, kulang. Let us stop our local sustenance. Siguro, pagpalit kita yung mga kuwan, papangingin tayo. Tawag tayo na another incentives. Let us provide tawag ini. At least naman na adequate compensation for disasters. Para di rin na kita mabili natin supply from Manila or from outside. Para din na doon, sufficient na kita local. Itap natin yung damit at sa sarili ng Borongan.
Gamit it, Mike, Doktora.
Yes, sir. The standard, really, the recommended mask is the surgical mask. It is, ito talaga it makaka 100% protected kita ito. The homemade mask can be used kung talaga waray na. And I don't recommend, but when we use it, kasi waray naman talaga, kung waray man, gabay, may da, basta, inside, we still put some medyo makakapadak mo, tissue or yung panyo, oo, yan. Sa south nga checkpoint, we use that.
What I'm trying to say, Mr. Presiding Officer, is that not only limited to the mask, but like us to the whole PPE. I mean, cover all.
The hazmat
for
suits.
A frontliner, including the suit.
For a frontliner, we have to have only the mask and the gloves. And maybe this one.
Face shield.
Yes, that is
Because
why.
we have it. We have the city government provided us with the face shield.
Nagkuha na kiton kay di ko karoyan may nahayo maging usa ka mabiktima itong kay kang matata printing. Ikikinahanglan naman kamo. Sanglit kun ang itang pwede may suporta kayo sumakila kami so that we can intervene.
Yes. The Honorable Akinday.
First, thank you po han iyo effort kasi mobile po natin report. Actually, diri lang po ha iyo but diri lang po ha iyo batan nga tanan po nga nag-work para mas maging warata din maging positive or para mas maging lower natin number. Based po han kanan aton bugas nga site guti na po 40 PUMs na la 1 PUI itaton kinobserbaran. And then dili naman nakamada 2 PUMs na la and waray PUI. So, in your opinion po ba, Doktora, kailangan ta pa ba mag-extend aton enhanced community quarantine or enough na ba aton yan ang nga declaration nga dala kay April 5. Are we helping to flatten the curve? Or parang kailangan na pa kasi di ba parang kunya na, napa-flat na, and then biglang, parang mas makura di ba anin mag-relax? So, what is your recommendation based on your observation and syempre your expertise as health officers?
I would recommend for an extension of the enhanced community quarantine. Kay damo lang yung nagkakasulod ha. Mapay na nga na kay nag-declare, nag-issue bago nga EOH mayor nga to limit into 10 pwede makasud ha Borongan kada municipality. Kaya una, nag-submit man kami kan data kan mayor kunta hindi diha bugas nga hindi diha luksoon. Nakita talaga ni mayor nga gidadabo Anlihira hikita lugod nga Boronganon limited at unta tag-usala single use la not quarantine pass. Hira dani mag-asawa na may nira nag-uupod pahiran pag sige lang nila pag kinasulod din So, ang ibang nga tao nasiring quarantine, community quarantine at Borongan, damo malagi tao. Ngayon, diri mga Borongan, taga ibang lugar. Para final nag-issue.
Honorable Chair,
Yes,
I want to address this to the Mayor regarding this quarantine. We are supposed to stay at home, but the city is giving free ride from Kamada to Borongan. At least, it should be cut because we are encouraging people.
Mike.
We are encouraging people to go out because of free ride to Borongan. Let us stop that free ride so that people will not get out. We are encouraging them to stay at home, but we are giving them free ride to Borongan. That's why, according to Doctora, there are so many people from the south going to Borongan because of that free ride. I am encouraging the Honorable Mayor to stop that free ride so that there will be no more people going here.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In response to the manifestation of Honorable Ador, I would like to inform the august body that in the executive order issued by the President himself, it is stated that I cannot remember the particular section of that presidential proclamation. It says that the city government must provide service vehicle to their medical health workers. I think the question is, it is really true. It reached my office, the concern, because when our pre-rides, this vehicle that we are providing for our frontline workers, because they can no longer ride their motorcycle, magkikirer. So, itiba kasi daman ng mga frontliners, di man daman maaramag motor. So, the only recourse that we have is, since it is provided in the declaration of the President that we are being mandated to provide this service vehicle, wala ita choice kundi i-provide. Although, in it take, Mr. Chairman, naobserbahan natin na-inform liwat knowledge from Honorable Ador, nga dito Kamada, and last week, this happened last week, may nagkakasakay nga mga may dulong nun nga mga taga Kamada. To the extent, nasa kainahan natin pre-ride, so pagkaagi naman lugod para mga Boronganon, nga waray man sarakyan, napupuno, so kakak na. So, hibaro ko iton, I told the in charge, Mr. Cortado, to inform the drivers, and I even personally talked to the drivers. Because initially, Mr. Chair, we informed them the dynamics, the protocol. It pasasakyan lahin, it may ada home quarantine pass. Tapos, it mga medical health workers. Asya lait. Mamayda nga ni bakanti pa kay nagso-social distancing manliwat dito hasulod, di na kamo mapasakay kamo hit mga Boronganon na pero pasasakyan lagi ha, may home quarantine pass pero iti thermal scan it masakay. So, asya initial nga instruction natin mga drivers. Ang sisti na kay pinadnadiritso man nga tukuntahan at border ha barangay Kamada, ang hinabo, ang driver, nga ang konduktor baga, asya naging lax. So when I was informed about this laxity, I immediately called the attention of our drivers, and I also called the attention of the in charge to manage these free rides that we are providing our health workers. So, yan na, nai-strictuhan na it problema ni Mr. Chair. It iba nga mga medical health workers from other municipalities ngayon ipagtatrabaho atit at provincial hospital. Kay may municipality of Baydolong, we didn't have that. Di react na sa ring nga, hit nga tanan nga LGU din nga Borongan, hikita like na nag-comply to the letter, to the mandate of the President. It ibang LGU didn't have that. So, in tao, natik advantage hira, hit pagsasakay dito hakamada, nabaktas, kiti makakasakay nga di hospital. Now, iiniya na, Mr. Chair, itaken, kinikita nga problema. When we issued the first executive order allowing other municipalities to come to our city for purposes of going to the banks, remittances there, to our pharmacies, based on the records submitted to my office, kinita ta nga ang iba nga mga local government unit wara hira pagre-regulate. Hanira tinatagan, hanira out of town pass nga makasalud ha Borongan. So that is a correct observation of Dr. Sakmar nga unlimited an ira. To the extent also the public of Borongan noticed that kasi you could just imagine, Mr. Chair, in one day 400 people it nasulod ngan hiha total. So don't expect nga warit kikita may da talaga hit aabatan din hit at downtown area as if there is no enhanced quarantine ongoing to the detriment, of course, of the Boronganon. And then we cannot let us not expect na diri ma-question it Boronganon. Ma-question, why are there so many people in the downtown area roaming around? Nako-control pa ba hit city? Definitely the answer is no, because it nga nagkakasulad nga, hiwara man tatakit irabado that they are from San Julian, Sulat, or even Top. So thinking hit Boronganon, mga din here, second, makokontinta ba it virus in pagpinadayon on time? Diri. That is the reason why, Mr. Chair, I issued another executive order limiting the number of people that can get into our city to 10 person per day. Per municipality. Mr. Chair, if we will read thoroughly the mandate of the President, there in here exemption actually aton lain haira paghatag in consideration as Pilo Eastern Samarino. But since it was abused, kinhanglan man liwat kita, Mr. Chair, magsagukon isip titay at mga tao. Salit, Mr. Chair, bisak kontra nanira, I don't care. Because this is not part of our agreement. So, Mr. Chair, init it facts na himbaruan. Once there is a positive person, that positive person could infect, hinwara niya, dear hiya mag-observe his social distance, up to 40 person. So, ito nga 40 person, pwede din naman maka-infect and another 40 person kada isa. Imagine na tayo ito. So, Mr. Chair, my personal take is like this. In the event that Catbalogan City will be declared nga may nanira dito positive, I will really lock down our border with San Julian and in similar case with Maydolong. Because we cannot, di tanain hiya pakalaksihon. We know for a fact nga wala tahin kuan itatambal, itatanla, pag-mitigate, pag-facilitate, mamedala bubutangan, pero masaring kita nga iton maging positive na o mag-PUI, naghihinga-hinga na, di kita sigurado nga mag-cure tahiya. Ngan definitely, Mr. Chair, pare baro iton August body, According to Dr. Jessica Sabalbarino in our yesterday's meeting, it was yesterday, 2 days ago, itong available na nga facility for POM and POI at our Eastern Samar Provincial Hospital is only 4 rooms. 4. And they are even thankful that the city government provided with that 62. Their question is, can we use that in the event that our Eastern Samar Provincial Hospital will be overwhelmed? My answer was yes. Because hain tamay ibubutang, di tamay, Mr. Chair, kakayanan ng pababayan tanalay. So for humanitarian reason, we need to help each other. Kaya na nga mga panahon, pagburobligo dito, gin-require, labi na hinhining nga magiging positive. So yan na, Mr. Chair, anaton pag-declare nga napulo la anat iaalaw nga masulod ha Borongan is based on the data. Diri la true whims and caprices and mga assumptions. It was not based on that. It was based on data submitted and duly signed by our city health officials. Ang champion today, may Dolong, Balangkayan, Llorente. I-champion na Mahanorte, San Julian, Sulat. These are the champion LGUs nga nasulod din niya at Borongan. So, Mr. Chair, iinit kung karye ko i-share hayo. Since may naminsun nagad nga ni ugaring ni Dr. Sakmar, although may na ni decision, since waray pa confirmation nga may adda community transmission ha City of Calbayog, i-consider pa hira na palaan na hira nga mga person under advised to for self-quarantine. Actually, tama hiya agree akiton a little bit why. There are businessmen in our city that buys fish and other commodities in Calbayog City. So, if we will stop their operation, who will feed us? That's my concern. Again, part of the declaration of the President is that we will not hamper the passage of these cargo trucks in the city of Borongan. So, for precautionary measures, kakalop may dana na checkpoint didiha Bugas. Taga-Sabang South, Labado ang apelyido. So gin-advise sila, gin-escort ni Chief of Police, yan na gin-advise na hirahin home quarantine. Pero gin-advise ko yan na Doktora this morning, early this morning, I told Doktora Sakmar, kung itong hira, in taon diri hira provide hin 1 meter distance ditit air household, pwede natin ipagamit itong atin people center for them. Yes. Habang gin-o-obserbaran. Kay kasi daman, Mr. Chair, di man da makitahin dapat maging overacting kay una, pag-check ko pa dito, maloy lang Diyos, wara manira manifestation pa hin fever or even cough or colds, etc. So, what is important, ma-quarantine lang ni hira, ma-obserbaran, kay totoo pa man, bisan in even other countries, itera yan na sinisiring na nga, once you get the virus, hilaba na it for 7 days nga di ka mag-manifest hin symptoms. So, as I said, it very critical nga period nga ang ipag-obserbaran. So, yan na, itaton steps kaging bubuhat, especially kung Boronganan. Yan na dadaman, aadtohin na checkpoint, Bugas, taga-distributor naman hanisli. There are 5 people, may danira sa nga L300 nga ban, tapos ngayon ban naman nga may karga nga era nisli product. So ginadvisean, di ka mo ipipum, provided upon disembarkation of your cargos, you immediately return to Calbayog City. I agree with that, Mr. Sir, because that what they have with them is the supplies that we need. Bang malit gatas, or whatever. Tapos, they will be escorted by our PNP to their warehouse. Didahit doon tupad hananay Congressman Ramirez. Idadit itira warehouse, itira bodega. So that, upon discharging their cargos, they could immediately return back. Again, this is a similar situation. Hiton mga tikang hasibo. Remember Cebu? May nadaman nila dito positive. So ano nga mga establishment it na kanihaat nga tikang hasibo? Kanan Pure Gold. Itira grocery store. Yesterday, I was informed by Mr. Ibarbia nga nangangaro na nga niyan certification and manager siguro nangangalas na ada. Kay gimbi binalik-balik man. Kay siyempre, ang bando, kay niyo mga driver, ayaw niyo palulugo sa iyo auto, ayaw niyo pa intera ka, dudulong nila niyo yung pagkaan, kay we do not know kung maging carrier hira. Nangangaro ng certification and manager, siguro na aringit ada na. Kasi mo na kuno kamo yung certification nga di kuno kamo napasulod. Diri pwede. We need the supplies. Ngani kaduha, di ak mag-i-issue certification nga sila nga maghihikag haak. Definitely not. Lugod, gitutot doan lahira, hampamaagi, gadiri hira, makakontaminate, in case man la, maging carrier hira. So yun na, iton procedure, Mr. Chair, iton aton checkpoints, both sides, will lock down 12 midnight. 12, kay ano? Kung in case, may cargo truck, tikang hasibo, tikang nahinga mga lugar. Kaya may babaron taman, Mr. Chair, direct era bill of lading, itera manifest, itera sasibo, itera cargos, kung tikang nira diin. Paihig daon laan ay hira dito, kaya no, waraman pagdidiskargahan, ikuanhin, Mr. Chair, ay diri burunganan nga tracking. Diri burunganan nga tracking. Pero, burunganan ka nga tracking, yeah, you will allow to get inside the city, go to your parking area kung hino ka man nga tracker nga burunganan. Pero in iba nga tika nga ni hasiboy ira cargos, ato talaan ay haluksoon pagpapa-overnightita, kinabuwasan na i-escort diri escort hit police, ikot tatawag hit police ngini nga truck ada ti sulod na sawang Borongan downtown, imo-monitor naman hit aton mga traffic enforcers kung nakadtugod nagko-comply gud hit aton requirements ga waray hawasay. Tapos, gin-i-disinfect naman, Mr. Chair, it-era vehicle, ngan hira laman, it-gin-disinfect, gini-isprihan. Somehow, kung may daditira panap doon, mamatay naman la kung Titan virus. Tapos, ini pa, may da mga ambulance, basing report, nga kay simple ambulance di man pinapara, Mr. Chair. So, siguro, dara nga di hira pinapara, nakikita na nira itatwik ni sita checkpoint. Nag-i-innovate naman hira. Only to find out, kay diri masakit. Magsishopping lang ngayon din niya, Borongan. Yan na.